Hey guys, this is God of Politics, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are now at 357 subscribers. Can we get to 500 subscribers by election day? Please like this video and subscribe to the channel so that we can get there. Also, join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is also linked down in the description. But in today's video, I do want to talk about the debates which did occur yesterday. I assume that everybody who's watching me probably also watched the debates last night. So let's just kind of go through a run through it. Just to start, obviously, that was a terrible debate. I think most people can agree on that. There was just so much interrupting, not much answering of the questions, and really it was not a good debate overall. The worst debate I've ever watched. And then the New York Times article here says, with crosstalk, lies, and mockery, Trump tramples decorum in debate with Biden, interrupting Joe Biden nearly every time he spoke. President Trump made little attempt to reassure swing voters about his leadership. Mr. Biden hit back, quote, "This is so unpresidential." So it says the first presidential debate between President Trump and Joseph R. Biden Jr. unraveled into an ugly melee Tuesday as Mr. Trump hectored and interrupted Mr. Biden nearly every time he spoke, and the former vice president denounced the president as a, quote, clown and told him to, quote, shut up. So obviously, that was one of the crazy moments of the debate when, Joe Biden kind of, I don't want to say he let it go, but he did tell Donald Trump to shut up. He did call him a clown, and Donald Trump did say a lot worse things. He said some things about his son. He says, "I don't know, Beau Biden." That was also not a good moment for him. That was pretty yikes. It says, Mr. Trump, trailing in the polls and urgently hoping to revive his campaign, was plainly attempting to be the aggressor, but he interjected so insistently that Mr. Biden could scarcely answer the questions posed to him, forcing the moderator, Chris Wallace of Fox News, to repeatedly urge the president to let his opponent speak. Now, we look at Chris Wallace. He's from Fox News. He did a debate in 2016, and if you look at his 2016 debate performance, it was so much better than this time. And, you don't necessarily have to blame it all on Chris Wallace. But if you do look at this debate, you will see that obviously Trump interrupted a lot. It was very hard for Chris Wallace to kind of, stop all the interrupting because Trump did it virtually every question. I think they actually counted it. Trump interrupted, I believe, 71 times. Biden interrupted around 20 times. So not that Biden didn't interrupt, but Trump clearly interrupted a lot more. That's basically one interruption every single minute. You're supposed to have 2 minutes to answer the original question, and Joe Biden did not get any of that. It says, yet Biden said, "Will you shut up, man?" Mr. Biden demanded Mr. Trump at one point in obvious exasperation. "This is so unpresidential." Yet Mr. Biden also lobbed a series of bitingly personal attacks of his own. "You're the worst president America's ever had," he said to Mr. Trump. And then Trump said, "In 47 months, I've done more than you have in 47 years." Mr. Trump shot back, referring to his rival's career in Washington. So there was obviously a lot of contentious moments between the candidates. It says also, yet the former vice president veered between trying to ignore Mr. Trump by speaking directly into the camera to voters and giving in to the temptation by hurling insults at the president. Mr. Biden called Mr. Trump a liar and a racist. It says Mr. Trump peppered his own remarks with misleading claims and outright lies, predicting that a coronavirus vaccine was imminent when his own health chief advisors say otherwise, claiming that his rollback of fuel efficiency standards would not increase pollution, and insisting that a political advisor, Kellyanne Conway, had not described riots as useful to President Trump's campaign, even though she did so on television. So there's a lot of things about this. One of the other big moments was with the far-right white supremacist group, the Proud Boys. Trump said, "Proud Boys, stand back and stand by," the president said before pivoting to say somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left. So that was another one of those iffy moments that was not too good for President Trump. If I had to say who's the clear winner of the debate, I did predict before the debate that it would be a slight edge for Biden. I think if you want to look based on, who actually answered the questions correctly, who answered based on policy, and who had a better vision, things like that, I think Biden did narrowly win. And, maybe you could say, you could accuse people of being biased, but people on the left have been saying Biden easily won. People on the right have been saying Trump easily won. It's not that simple. And so, if we do want to look at the recent polls that we just got, we did see from CNN, 28% of people thought Trump won, 60% of people thought Biden won. This is a similar result to what it was in 2016. I don't know necessarily if this is a scientific poll, how they got these results, but they did get these results. There's also the poll from YouGov America, CBS News, from, I believe this is a scientific poll that YouGov did, Biden 48%, Trump 41%, which is virtually what the average is at the national level, which virtually means it's not really going to change much. We also look at some of these other things. It says, who had a better plan for solving the country's problems? Biden 63%, Trump 30%. We look at another poll from Data Progress here. Biden plus 11, 51% thought Biden won, 39% thought Trump won. Who is more truthful in his answers? Biden 65%, Trump 29%. That's another big win for Biden. And it says, tonight's debate made you think Biden better of him 38%, worse of him 32%, Trump better of him 24%, worse of him 42%. So that number is really not good for Trump. His favorability ratings are really going to take a hit after this, I do believe. How did the debate make you feel? Annoyed 69%, entertained 31%, pessimistic 19%, informed 17%. The tone of the debate was negative 83%, positive 17%. And obviously we have who won the debate there. From that poll from YouGov, who they thought would win the debate, Trump was at +5, and then he ended up losing the debate according to their poll by -7. Actually, of those who intend to watch the debate, it was actually +8 for Trump. So the gist of this is that Biden did narrowly win the debate, and he did do a lot better on specific issues. Overall, he also won the debate. But another reason why this is a big win for Joe Biden is that Trump really needed to hit into Biden's lead. Biden's lead, if we currently look at it right now, is 6.4 percentage points. He's basically cracking 50% of the vote here. Trump's only at 43%. And if we look at his lead, Biden's lead has not really fallen below 6 points since, basically around April. If we look at it here, I believe around April, around April it fell below 6 percentage points. It hasn't really fell below that since. And people on the right, Trump supporters have been saying, wait till the conventions, wait till Labor Day, wait till the debates. But it's really not looking like the electoral average or the electoral map is going to change very much. Biden's up 6.4 now. You can see he was up 6.4% August 7th, and that was almost 2 months ago. So really, the map has not changed that much at all. Sure, Trump was at 40%. Now he's at 43%. Biden was at 50%. Now he's still at 50%. But, the thing is, Trump cannot win if he's losing the popular vote by 6.5 percentage points. The chances of that are virtually impossible. He could win the election by losing the popular vote by 3, even 4 percentage points, but not by 6.5 percentage points. And this election has been remarkably stable and consistent. If you want to look back at 2016, let's see if we can find we can't find the 2016 election, but if you do look at the 2016 election, you would have seen that it changed a lot. If you look at this point before the debates in 2016, Hillary Clinton was up by around 2 percentage points. After the debates, she was up by around 7 percentage points, and then in a couple weeks, it fell back to around 3 percentage points. So these things could change a lot, but for Biden, it hasn't really seemed to change very much. And if you looked at my video about the debates that I made 2 days ago, I analyzed the Monmouth poll, which said only 3% of people in the Monmouth poll were likely to change their minds anyway. So what does that show? It shows that people have made up their minds. There's less undecided voters than 2016, and these debates don't really even matter. We saw that most people either it made them annoyed or it made them entertained. And if you want to look at these state polls too, it's virtually the same story. Biden is down big in at least the 3 Rust Belt states. You can look at these 3 Rust Belt states. He's even down in Trafalgar Group. He's down 5.5 percentage points in Wisconsin, 3 points within Trafalgar Group. We had a new poll from Michigan today, again showing that actually, this was not updated. They haven't updated yet, but Trafalgar did release a new poll with Biden +2 in the state of Michigan. But Biden's up 5.2 percentage points in the state of Michigan. That's a lot to overcome. And again, it's been remarkably steady. Pennsylvania, Biden's at 5.7%. We've had a lot more polls than 2016 too. And Biden has a very strong lead. You can look at the same exact story in Arizona where Biden is up 2.8 percentage points. You can look at the same story in Florida where Biden is up 1.1 percentage points. And adjusting for the same polling errors as 2016, Biden will still end up winning. North Carolina, even Biden is winning by half a percentage point. He's winning in Nebraska's 2nd district. The polls have him winning in Maine's 2nd district. If we want to look even at Iowa, it's a tie. And the Des Moines Register poll had it at a tie. The New York Times poll had Biden up by 3. If we want to look look at Ohio, a state Trump won by 8.5 percentage points in 2016, it now has Biden plus 3.3, which is more than even Arizona, Florida, and North Carolina. So if you're going to believe that the polls are going to be just as off in 2016 and even more off, go right ahead. Go predict Trump victory. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the polling errors are going to be as big as 2016. Sure, Wisconsin may underestimate Donald Trump by a couple of percentage points, and Michigan and Pennsylvania might too, but Joe Biden still wins in that scenario. And if you want to look at those Trafalgar polls, Biden, how are you going to say they underestimate Trump? These polls have been remarkably steady. It's been a pretty strong lead, the biggest lead ever for an incumbent, going against an incumbent virtually for Joe Biden. So it's going to be very difficult for Donald Trump to win. And this debate certainly does not help his case. But we do have the vice presidential debate coming up on October 7th, I believe, which is just over a week from now. We do have 2 more presidential debates coming, which I think will probably be, somewhat of the same story. And then we'll see how it plays out after that. But really, I don't see much of a path for Trump winning this election. I'll eat my words if I'm wrong, and I'll have my prediction up tomorrow, my updated prediction. But I don't think Trump's going to win this election. I don't think this debate helped him. I do think Biden narrowly won this debate as I predicted, and we will see how this affects the election in the future. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website, which is linked down in the description as well. So thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.